Thank you very much. I am honored and proud to be here this evening as one of the newest members of the GG Hall of Fame. It's nice to see past and present GGs in the same room, sitting together, honoring the long, strong tradition of GG's football. For some of us, the touchdown dinner is the only place where we get to see each other. And I must say, some of you put on some weight, so. Table 24 back there. Watch these guys. Hey. They told me I had 2 minutes to speak, but with all due respect, this is a rare opportunity for me to thank the many people that are the reason that I stand up at this podium. But I won't be longer than Kev last year, so I promise that. Though the coach in me understands the value of time, so I'll do my best to stick to the practice plan. After all, the real reason a lot of you come here tonight is just to buy overpriced drinks and to talk about yourself. So, talking to you, Gerard, where are you? Yeah, he's already doing it. Yeah, it's turning into a roast. Yeah. I must first say thank you to the Hall of Fame Induction Committee for this great honor, to Kyle Kirkwood for nominating me, and for protecting my blind side. When Kyle first told me I was going into the Hall of Fame, I have to be honest, my reaction was rather passive. Not because I wasn't grateful, because I am, but because Coach Parisi spilled the beans to me a week prior. So, thanks, Coach. I truly am honored. Though it is an individual honor, I'm merely the byproduct of the humble efforts of many talented players and coaches that I had a privilege working with, some of which are here tonight. My O-line, the Wrecking Crew, the Hate Train. Where's the Hate Train? Yeah. And of course, the 2006 Yates Cup champions back there. So. At least we didn't get dressed up for nothing, right, boys? I would like to congratulate my fellow nominees, Al Moffitt, Steve Alexandre, Coach Belfoy, and the 1975 team. Wait, oops, the 1965 team. That's scripted, okay, I didn't get it wrong. Yes, I know the 1975 team was great, we all know that. For instance, in 2007, we had our own perfect season, the regular season. So we thought it would be cool to grow these mustaches in paying homage to the 75 team in the perfect season. Well, that backfired because we lost in the first round. Many of those mustaches remained unshaven into Black Week. So it's where Chuck Norris's double appeared in Tyler Aldicott. So. But enough about the 75 guys. The 1965 team, that was a special one. I mean, I read up on you guys, perfect season, 9-0, that's tremendous. I mean, it was 50 years ago, guys. That's incredible. It is an honor to be named in the same category as those players and coaches that built the tradition for us all to follow. During my 5 years here at Ottawa, I was fortunate enough to be a part of pretty good teams. Most teams are lucky to have a few talented players, but we had many. So much so that I can't name them all, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention a few that are here tonight. Dan Kennedy, an All-Canadian defensive lineman. Dave Timmons, an All-Canadian free safety. Frank Spira, an All-Canadian offensive lineman. Eric Tribonian, an All-Canadian kicker. Seb Tetreault, a two-time All-Canadian defensive lineman. And Anthony Plantage, who is a two-time All-Canadian defensive back. Those guys were remarkable to play with. Schiller Lindor, who's also in the room. You were a big influence on my decision. I appreciate everything you've done for me. David Crane, where are you? Yeah, all 130 pounds of you. All right. They called this guy the Matrix because he could dodge bullets on the punt return. So, exceptional athlete. And Kevin Kelly, obviously. Kevin Kelly, my center, who I can't speak enough about. So rather than go on and on about him, I'll just buy him drinks all night. This is the part where I'm supposed to share a story with you guys. And the one that comes to mind first is in my first year in week 3, when we were playing Queens at Frank Clair. We were down 16-0. And I hadn't played a lot at this point, and Coach came to me in the locker room, which was the old Renegades facility at the time, and he said, "Get ready, kid, you're going in." I was pumped and as confident as ever. But I stepped into the huddle. I noticed that the offense was pretty flat, so I felt the need to actually give a big talk. All right, so I started going something like, all right, guys, we're in this. We're down 16-0. All right, we're back in it. Let's go. And even before I could finish, a fifth-year lineman said, "Shut up, rookie. Call the play. You're going to get a time count." From that moment on, I worked hard to make sure that my actions showed on the field. And it reminded me of a nickname my older sister once gave me when we were kids. Josh talks a lot. As a lot of my friends know that to be true, as well as you will after I'm done speaking tonight. So, my O-line. Any quarterback would tell you that he is nothing without his O-line, but that would be an understatement to describe the guys that played in front of me. Kyle, Frankie, Kev, Naeem, who's not here tonight, and Pete. Thank you for protecting my butt all those years. My wife sure appreciates it now. Someone once told me, or once asked me, what is my favorite GG memory? And without hesitation, it was when one of our offensive linemen, Frankie Spira, scored the game-winning touchdown on a fumbled missed field goal to beat Western in London 35-30. There he is right there. We would have hoisted him on our shoulders and carried him off the field like Rudy, but he's an offensive lineman. The only person that uses more hair product than my wife is Frank Spira, right? So, yeah. I can smell the Herbaliscent shampoo from here, yeah. To my coaches, Coach Pichet. The first thing I would say about Coach Pichet is, if you ever met him, you probably lost the staring contest. He had this intimidating presence about him. As he stared into your soul, you stared back, and you thought, this guy looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. To me, I saw a coach that was competitive and determined to win, and I wanted to be a part of it. And that look, it meant he cared about you. It meant he wanted to know more about you and wanted to help you get where you wanted to go, both as a player and as a person. Coach talked a lot about character. He looked for it in the kids that he recruited. He demanded it from when they arrived, and in time, he revealed it in all of us. As a quarterback, you're lucky to develop a much closer relationship with your head coach. Coach Pichet and I certainly had that. And much like any strong relationship, you're bound to have some disappointments and disagreements. But in the end, when the final whistle blows and you take your helmet off, you realize that the mutual respect you have for one another remained the same since the first day you met. Coach, I appreciate everything you've done for me. Thank you. Coach Larmy, who's not here this evening, if you know him, he's small in stature, but enormous in football intellect. Denny was responsible for putting together one of the greatest defenses to ever play, in my opinion. And I still remember my first practice when he was the offensive coordinator at the time. And I threw the far side dropout to a kid named Mike Savory, a first-year receiver. And it was against Tony Plantaja, who was an all-star. He picked it and returned it for 6 the other way. And then all of a sudden, a guy from the sideline sprinted over, probably in 4.5, and I thought he was going to clock me. And instead, he shouted, "That's an all-star corner, and that's a first-year receiver. Know your personnel." Yes, Danny was a lunatic on the field. And though it was hard to have a conversation with him not involved in football, he valued relationships in his players. He would often invite us over to his house for dinner and take care of us. Coach and Cindy created a home away from home for me, being from New Brunswick, and I thank him for that. And if he was here, I'd give him a one-handed clap, just like this. My quarterback coaches, Johnny and Scatch, John Stevens, who's also not here, who I got to play with, and he later coached me. Thank you for teaching me the double ball technique and being a lot slower than I was. It gave me a lot more confidence to run when I shouldn't have. So. To Blaine Scatchard, my favorite memory of Blaine Scatchard, you know I was going there with a story, was in my second year when he kept saying the same coaching point to this one receiver all year in our film meeting and on the field as well. And then later on, as weeks passed in the playoffs, he looked at the guy in his animated expression and said, "James, why can't you get this right?" And he looked at him and he said, "Coach, my name's Trevor." Yeah, despite Scatch's flaws of being able to remember names, it was his animated facial expressions, his patience and honesty, and most of all, his cold sense of humor that made it fun coming to work each and every day. He kept things in perspective when we faced tough situations, and it allowed us to collect ourselves and focus on the next play. Thanks, Scatch. When I first arrived here in Ottawa months before the season, there was but one person that welcomed me. He gave me a place to sleep, he showed me around campus, introduced me to teammates, dragged me to 7 a.m. workouts, and taught me the offense. At the time, he was just a second-year player, but our leader and team captain. He didn't speak English all that well, but much like how a quarterback develops communication with his receiver, we connected early. JP, thank you for everything that you've done for me. Your leadership and support paved the way for my experience as a GG. Thanks. To my family, my mom, who made the trip down from New Brunswick, I want to thank you for your love and support. I know it wasn't easy raising 4 kids and having to move more than once. But despite the challenges and circumstances that we faced, you encouraged us to try and that it was sometimes okay to fail. You knew how important sports was to me, and you made sure that it remained an important part of my life. You supported me in every way possible. You bought me my first pair of Nikes when I know we didn't have the money. Ever since I was a kid, you never stopped being my biggest fan. You're full of love and grace with such a positive outlook on life. I love you very much, and it means a lot that you're here with me tonight. So. To my beautiful wife, Natasha, who is tough as nails and as smart as a whip. We've been together for 15 years. While I was busy playing football, she was studying rigorously day and night through law school. This woman that moved to Canada when she was 14 years old from Croatia, she learned 3 languages, graduated from the University of Ottawa with 2 law degrees, all before she was 23. She is a constant reminder. She is a constant reminder of what discipline and hard work looks like outside the football world. A true inspiration for me. Many of my teammates know Natasha, probably because they got a free ride home at 2 a.m. when I called her to pick us up after a night of celebrating. Sorry for that. Uber didn't exist then, guys. Natasha, thank you for standing beside me all these years, especially during the times when I doubted myself. You're an incredible woman, an amazing mom, and the best friend a husband could ask for. I love you very much, Valiente. In closing, this is the part where I'm supposed to talk about how much the game meant to me, though I find it very difficult to put it into words, and I think everybody can agree. I know this, though. I absolutely love this game. Aside from a bad hip and a few concussions, this school and its football program gave me so much more. It gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me education. It gave me number 15. It gave me garnet gray. It taught me how to have fun and play for the moment. It taught me Oscar bounce disco Dio. It taught me how to beat match coverage. Coach, it taught me Kaizen philosophy too. And the popularized expressions like the hay is in the barn. It taught me about courage and failure. And it taught me what it takes to win. It taught me patience and persistence. And it taught me to play for the name on the front of the jersey and not the one on the back. It taught me GG pride. I'll end on this. What I know from football are 3 truths. 1, football is life, and life is football. 2, family is everything, and my teammates became family. And 3, I know what to be most true, and that's once a GG, always a GG. Thank you.